Data Visualization: Effects on Motivation and Engagement in Health and Fitness Applications by Robin Scales and Carolina Sanabria. Agenda Overview: There are a variety of fitness trackers on the market today. They come in various shapes, sizes, and functionality, but all of them rely on an application to make them usable. The app is the piece that collects and displays the information so that the user can make sense of it all. This project is a survey of several articles and studies which are focused on fitness applications, their designs, and their effect on user motivation and engagement. They range from articles for the general public to application design to scientific studies. There were several recurring themes throughout these pieces. Goals, self-efficacy, feedback, manageable challenges, and social connection were a few of the main themes that are involved in motivation and engagement. Carly Fiorina suggested that the goal is to turn data into information and information into insight. Problem statement: We want fitness and health applications to provide a means of useful data via graphical displays and charts in order to motivate and engage users in their health journey or to reach their health goals. Today, many health and fitness applications, whether wearable trackers in combination with a phone or laptop application or solely phone applications, offer varying graphical representations of a user's progress, but some may not be helpful or useful to motivate and/or engage the user. We will research from academic journals, surveys, and articles to evaluate these visualizations of data for motivating users of the applications. Do trackers specifically seeing data in a graphical format actually motivate users? And how do application developers design a user interface to address this? Through data presentation on the device, step count/goal, heart rate, etc., or data presentation on the app? And what are effects on motivation and engagement in health and fitness applications? What, if any, graphs or ways of presenting data help users stay more motivated? Do trackers actually motivate users? According to an article in Consumer Reports, sales of activity trackers were projected to reach $1.7 billion in 2017. But many studies find that users may not be achieving their goals, and although they do get some results, their usage may not last for long. The key component of trackers is not the device itself, but the data, information, and tools on the application that the device communicates to. This is the area of real value to the user. In this Walk This Way article, 1,007 fitness tracker users were surveyed. 14% said they became more active, 15% felt healthier overall, 18% became more aware of sleep quality, and 24% were able to achieve weight goals. How do app designers address motivation issues? App designers are working on finding the best way to get information obtained from the tracker device displayed in a usable format. In the article, Better Visualizing of Fitness App Data Helps Discover Trends, Reach Goals, James Fogarty, a University of Washington Associate Professor of Computer Science and Engineering, stated the following: Personal activity tracking is getting more robust, and there are more applications to choose from, but people often don't get any value from their data because you can't see it displayed over time or in a larger context. We think visualizations like these are the future of how people will look back at their own data to find meaningful or actionable information. Many of the articles on fitness applications and data will point to an idea of the quantified self, the concept that there is a group of people who are collecting more and more data on their own personal life. They not only want to record every aspect of their life, but to be able to review it on a long-term basis. There are different types of health and fitness applications. Instructional fitness apps demonstrate different types of exercises like stretching and strength training. Trackers log steps taken, heart rate, calories consumed, and possibly geographical maps of walking or running routes, as well as social aspects. Gaming fitness apps that create games and challenges to increase activity and help users meet their goals. In the article, 3 fitness apps that use visuals and visualization to motivate your workout, smartphone apps are evaluated with their content and use of visualization. Most of these apps are a combination of different types of applications. Zombies Run has had 1 million downloads in the Google Play Store. It combines graphics and audio to make a game of creating a route, then running away from zombies. Fleetly Fitness is an iOS app that has a reward system and medals for completing workouts. They are a gaming and instructional type app. And Timo, a fitness adventure game, is for iOS and includes tracking, demonstrations, and gaming to encourage users to take an adventure and travel with their workout on the app. Timo, the fitness adventure game, has several different types of screens. One allowed the user to pick a challenge. Another was an instructional screen. A third was a gamification, as in climbing Mount Everest. And the last was their statistics, with the data and statistics provided for user information. There are some basic templates that app designers use to create new and better fitness apps and visuals. Not only are device manufacturers and larger companies creating apps, there are several smaller third-party vendors that create apps as well. There are even companies that can create a custom fitness application, but these can get costly. In KeepFit, a user interface designed for fitness apps, there is a template for the different pieces that make up a fitness app. A sign-in and profile screen where the user sets up their login and enters information about their age, height, and weight, and may link to social media as well. A home screen. This would be a dashboard where a user can view all of their health and fitness information on one screen. An activity screen, which is separated by different types of activity the user may participate in, like walking, biking, or swimming. A heart rate screen for devices that can monitor heart rates. Calories, tracking calories burned, but also possibly tracking calories consumed. Progress screen, where a user can monitor their progress toward their goals, for instance, running faster or losing weight. Schedule screen to keep track of workouts and sports schedules, and goal screen to allow users to set goals and monitor their own achievement toward those goals. There are many methods to design an application. All are attempting to find the best way to develop products a user will enjoy and continue using. Encouraging users to continue to engage and interact with an application is the focus of user experience or UX. One method to create a user-focused application is explained in the study Positive Engagement Evaluation Model for Interactive and Mobile Technologies, or PEEM. In this study, a differentiation is made between gaming applications and productivity applications. As you can see, most of the fitness apps would fall under the productivity applications, but there are some aspects of gamification which can be used in fitness apps. This study also discussed the drivers of optimal engagement and provided a model for evaluation. Goal importance, feedback, manageable challenges, self-efficacy, and social validations can be applied to any application, but are mentioned frequently in many of the studies looking at fitness applications in particular. The following is the PEM model explained. All of these topics will be talked about again when studying the effects of these applications on user motivation and engagement. Another design method is the IDEO method, centered on empathy and creativity. The method was used in the article Fitbit, a user experience case study. The designer was looking for a better fitness app for personal use and decided to create something new. Here is an overview of the IDEO design process. Empathize. Use personas, job stories, and usability testing to try and understand the needs of the user and how they might use the app. Define. Identify and prioritize those needs. Ideate. Create task flows and sketches. The next two steps will be repeated until the prototype is complete. Prototype and make mock-ups of the app, and then validate, test the prototype, get feedback, and then go back to prototyping again. In the study, a persona was created, complete with her name, demographics, behaviors, and her needs and goals. This helps in personifying the user and creating a more precise framework for the design. After getting a prototype together, the designer interviewed some Fitbit users at a local mall and tried to get a varied sample by simply asking them for a few minutes of their time and having a friend record their use of the prototype. They recorded how the user interacted with the screens and their likes and dislikes. Interviews with users helped to understand what would motivate users and what outcome they expected from the use of the device. They revealed other motivations or situations to build around. For example, setting goals for a special event, getting back in shape after a vacation or illness, or meeting with workout buddies or groups. With the results, the designer was able to more clearly define the problem areas. There was information and tools that were important to users but not as available in Fitbit. A matrix was created to prioritize the issues. The 4 problems that were both important to the user and Fitbit were solved by the designer through researching Fitbit online documentation and adjusting the prototype to solve the issues. In final user interviews, the users were much more successful in the 4 targeted areas. The methodology could be used in any aspect of visual data design. The designer said that one of her discoveries through the process was that a change as small as enlarging a button or changing an icon could make a difference. You can see an example of this below on her exercise page, where she changed an icon and the users were much more able to recognize and use it in this format. What are the effects on motivation and engagement in health and fitness applications? In the article Data Visualization and Engagement, Do Metrics Motivate?, several factors regarding visualization and motivation are discussed. The speed at which humans can understand visual information makes it much more effective. People also retain information they see in the form of pictures longer than verbal information. When we have direct and timely access to our personal performance metrics, and that data is visualized for effortless understanding, then we know how we're measured, how our efforts are impacting our goals, and where and how to adjust or apply extra effort to meet goals, which inspires action. Here's the example they used in the article. On the left, you see a fitness app dashboard with all the graphs and information readily understandable, and then you see a text version of the same thing. It's much easier to understand and recall information that is in the visual format. In this study, motivation and user engagement for fitness tracking, heuristics for mobile healthcare wearables, continued engagement was discussed. They state that there are studies indicating that as many as 1/3 of wearable fitness devices are no longer used after 12 months. They studied a group of experienced users over a 4-week period and measured their responses to a series of surveys. They found 3 areas that directly impact motivation and usage of the devices. Data. The visualizations were seen as useful for short periods of time, but the users would like more ability to look at trends. The Fitbit users found that the desktop display of the data was much more useful at looking at trends and overall data. Gamification. Using visuals and tools to make games in the form of challenges or duels were not used consistently and indicated the users mainly used them for self-efficacy and not so much social reasons. Content. The basic content of the information provided by the wearables seemed to be the main driver supporting the user's success in reaching short and long-term goals. Behavior change has been studied under many theories. Some of these are discussed in the article Behavior Change with Fitness Technology in Sedentary Adults, a review for the evidence of increasing physical activity. One theory for changing behavior is the social cognitive theory. People learn from their own experiences as well as watching others. Self-efficacy is the belief that one has the ability to achieve a desired behavior. For example, walking an extra 200 steps a day seems very achievable and is therefore more motivating than attempting 2,000 extra steps a day. Social support and competition can become important motivators. The Calorie framework for behavior change technique lays out a framework that can be used with health-related behavior change. Goal setting, which is available in all fitness applications. Framing feedback and rewards. Positive feedback has been shown to be more effective in motivating activity levels. Rewards can include messages on the app or responses of the wearable tracker itself in the form of sounds, vibrations, or lights on the device. Social factors. Users can compare and compete with other users. And coaching. Virtual coaching is another way to increase activity and motivation. There are push messages sent by many apps to encourage activity throughout the day. Coaching and feedback was also discussed in a paper on change in fitness trackers. How fitness trackers facilitate health behavior change, presented at the Human Factors in Ergonomics Society, referred to wearable technology as QST or quantitative self-technologies. In this paper, 4 major aspects of motivation, user motivation and engagement were discussed: feedback, community and connectivity, coaching, and habit formation. Feedback is not only visual, but aspects of auditory and tactile feedback are important as well. There are different response times to each of these methods. It is suggested that combining these methods may enhance the user experience. Community and connectivity can help users get and stay motivated. Sharing goals can increase motivation and increase commitment to goals and healthy behaviors. Coaching messages are described as behavior-based intervention and are divided into 2 categories in this article. Reactive messages are messages about the current status and actionable alerts. An example might be the move reminders that Fitbit sends out via text or a vibration in the device to encourage users to get up and take a walk after sitting for a period of time. Proactive messages are reminders or rewards. An example of a positive reminder might be taking a walk can relieve stress, or a reward might be earning a badge for the number of steps taken over a period of time. Habit formation is created by triggers and rewards, which can be created through the fitness app. It must be noted that most studies on trackers focus on able users. In the study, Fitness Wearables and Youth with Visual Impairments, Implications for Practice and Application, the focus was put on teenagers and young adults with varying degrees of visual impairments. It was important to them for the application and tracker to have the ability to modify the contrast, or for it already to have a high contrast between the background and the data presented. Access to the data in varying ways was also highly suggested. If a tracker does not have audio functionality, and most don't, users with visual impairments rely on other technologies to read the data from the app for them. In the end, it seems there is a lot of improvement to be made in increasing the long use of these applications and devices. The article Inside Wearables Part 2 discusses the high abandonment rate of wearable fitness trackers. In a study of 1,700 users in 2013, they found about half of the consumers abandoned their trackers after 6 months. They repeated the study of abandonment rates in 2014, and at that point they had improved, but still over 1/3 of users had stopped using their trackers after 6 months. While many users abandon their trackers after 6 months, that does not diminish the usefulness of them. In the Time article Datamine, they point out how a hospital in 2013 equipped 150 heart surgery patients over the age of 50 with Fitbit trackers on their first day of recovery. Older patients tend to lose mobility in the wake of major surgery, and they found that patients that took the most step daily were significantly more likely to leave the hospital earlier and more likely to return home rather than to a nursing home. Conclusion: engaging individuals in their fitness journey through a tracker application is a difficult task. There are many studies on user motivation and engagement with health and fitness apps. Most conclude that users do engage for a period of time, but many eventually lose interest. Nonetheless, the data collected from trackers have provided researchers with valuable insight. With each generation of fitness tracker, the trackers get more precise, more insightful, and more advanced. We have found that there are many companies, researchers, and app designers trying to discover better tools to enhance the user experience and better ways of analyzing fitness data. For the future of fitness trackers, we hope to see the data be used in ways that are not currently used as of now. It would be beneficial for the user to be able to modify their view of their fitness progress charts and data according to their specific goals. Here are our references. And here are some other related articles we found along the way. A copy of this slideshow can be found at the link below. Thank you.